Okay, so for number 8, we're taking a look at this underlined but and trying to evaluate whether it's needed there or whether or not we need to replace it with something. So do we need this here? We put but when whatever follows in some way contradicts or counters what was said before, right? So let's see if that's the case here. Our first part says, while these classes are particularly helpful to young students developing basic research skills, second part, adult patrons can also benefit from librarian assistance. There's not really any direct contradiction or countering here, right? The fact that it helps young students doesn't exclude the fact that it's helpful for adult patrons. So, but isn't really appropriate here. So that means A is out. So we're left with B, C, and D. Let's take a look at B, and. But and are both conjunctions, right? We use conjunctions when we're connecting two full, complete, independent sentences. Is that the case? Is that what we're doing? Let's take a look. Let's read the first one. While these classes are particularly helpful to young students developing basic research skills, that's not a complete sentence, right? You you have this while right here, which basically makes this a subordinate sentence. This while makes it so that after this sentence, you need to add on your sort of main idea. Your main idea here is that adult patrons can also benefit from library assistance, and this is just adding on that while it is the case that this is helpful to young students, adult patrons can also benefit. So by putting while, you're making it so that you have to put this sort of second part. And when I'm read it out, it sounded as if something was missing, right? So we can't have and or but put here because with the comma, that would suggest that what's before and what's after are both complete sentences, which is not the case. What about for? If we put for here, for would mean something like since, right? Would that make sense in this case? If we were told, while these classes are particularly helpful to young students developing research skills, since adult patrons can blah, blah, blah. No, that doesn't really make sense. That the fact that adult patrons can also benefit isn't the reason why it's helpful to young students, right? So C is also out. So we're left with D, and that's our answer. We just want to delete this part so that we can have our little, I guess, intro here. So while these classes are helpful to young students, and then it goes straight to the main idea. While it's helpful to young students, adult patrons can also benefit. D.